What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in this episode I want to share with you guys how much I made on this single property over the last 9 years, and the number is going to surprise you. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. My name is Brian Tran. If you don't know, I've been investing in real estate for the last 10 years and accumulated over 20 properties that have given me the financial freedom to do what I want when I want, and I want to share with you guys the journey. And I want you guys to get on the train and buy properties because it has completely changed my life, and I know that it will change yours if you start buying today. So let's jump right into it, guys. I bought this very first property in Oakland, California in December 9th of 2015 for $380,000. The way we found the deal, driving for dollars. Driving down the street, we saw a little for sale sign, and not your big real estate ones, the ones that are like this big. It was literally a for sale by owner one. The ones that they put on used cars that said for sale by owner, and it literally had her number. We gave her a call, so we wrote $380,000, sight unseen, and she accepted the offer. She says, if I don't have to go down there and take care of this, take care of that, and take care of all the junk inside the house, like, you can have it. And she was happy to do so. And so, went through, got a stated income loan, boom. December 9th, 2015, we closed on the property, and your boy got his very first rental property. We bought it for $380,000. We put an additional $35,000 into the property, bringing our grand total to right around $415,000. And the beautiful thing was, we closed in December. By March 1st, we already had the place fully rented out. So let's go through some of the expenses, right? Because I did a stated income loan, I had to put down 25%, not 20 or not 10 like some of the other loan programs. And the interest rate was a 5.5% 7-year ARM, which meant that for the first 7 years, it was locked in. After that, it would start adjusting to whatever the market rate was. But with that loan program, my all-in nut with property tax, insurance, and mortgage was $2,500 a month. What a steal. And let me tell you why it's a steal. Because the house was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, with a downstairs basement that was literally the whole footprint of the top upstairs. With that method, we were able to house hack the heck out of it and get $5,000 a month in rent. And the beautiful thing was, the tenant paid for electricity, garbage, and water. With 2016, our gross revenue came in right around $45,000. But you're here on my channel, and I'm here to tell you that's not what I took home. I'm here to keep it as real as possible. The net for 2016 was a grand total of $17,500. Not bad, right? Because, like I said, I had 2 months of, remodeling and all that stuff that wasn't generating income, and I was continuing to pay the mortgage. So with that being said, I was like, dude, I'm so happy. Like, we're in the green for the freaking year. For 2017, 2018, and 2019, I netted $30,000 each of those years. The only thing that I might be missing from this video were the occasional repairman who had to go out and fix a sink or fix a faucet. But overall, it wasn't that much to the point where it affected it a whole lot. So bear with me, guys, if you're watching this. Give or take 30,000 minus maybe 1,000 at max for that year. Now, 2020 rolled around and things were a little bit different. And if you were to look at it, I was negative $220,000 for the year 2020. And you're probably thinking, was it COVID? Thankfully, no. The renters continue to pay all the way through COVID on this particular property. Now, I have other properties that I lost money on, but for this particular one, they all paid, and it was solid. But in 2022, I built an ADU in the back. So I was negative because the profit had to go towards building the ADU. The ADU ended up costing us $250,000 with basically plans, soil reports, the whole shebang. But again, I netted 30 grand that year, but I had to put out 250. So that meant I was negative $220,000. However, if you remember, 2020, we started having record low interest rates. And this is where it got really cool. So up until this point, I was doing a stated income loan, and that was at 5.5%. I went to the bank and I refinanced the property this year, and I got 2.5% interest rate. It dropped my payment from $2,500 all the way down to $900. Full transparency, I was paying down the principal heavily when we were making money in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, because I was afraid that once that variable rate started to adjust, I didn't want my payment to swing as much. So every month, I basically put a good chunk of that profit back to paying down principal. So by the time it came to refinancing the property, the loan on that property was only $192,000. So $192,000, 30-year fix, 2.5%, came out to like 800 and something change, but I just rounded up to 900 for you guys. Side note, for those of you guys who are really into real estate investing, you're probably wondering, does that $900 include the property tax? It does not. Property tax for this particular property is right around $8,000 for the year. So 8,000 divided by 12 brings you right around like $700-800. So now my monthly nut went from $2,500 a month all the way down to $1,600 a month all in. So I'm making an additional $900 a month positive cash flow just by refinancing this property. 2021 rolled around, we were getting $5,000 for the front house, $2,500 for the back house, minus expenses, property tax, mortgage, insurance, and water. It came into right around $5,600 in net profit every single month. So with that grand total, we were making $67,000 for 2021. Not a bad year. Fast forward to 2022, my 5,000 house hacker front house moved out. And we were like, okay, do we want to deal with all these tenants and all that stuff? A little bit more wear and tear on the property. So instead, I put it on the market for $4,000 to just get maybe 1 or 2 family in the property. And we ultimately got somebody in very quickly. So took a little hit on the income because we were getting $5,000. Now we're only getting $4,000. So the grand total came into $6,500 with the same amount of expenses. 2023 rolled around and we were only getting $4,000 for the front, $2,500 in the back. The net income for that year was $55,200. 2024, which we're still in, same thing, but we're only in June, so I'm getting $27,600 in net income. Drum roll, okay? Grand total of the gross income was $540,000. But you're here, and I'm real with you guys. I wanted to show you guys what the actual net was. The net over the last 9 years, after mortgage, principal pay down, the whole shebang, $321,700. Now, like I said, I didn't account for some of the repair calls, but let's just say 10%, okay? 10% of 321,000 comes out to 32,000. So even if I were to take it away, the net income on this one property was $290,000 over the last 9 years. And if you were to break that down into a yearly income, 290,000 times divided by 9, I made $32,000 a year on average just owning the property and being a landlord. And it all started with a $130,000 investment. Now look, full disclaimer, if you're watching this video, yes, $130,000 is a lot of money. It is a big investment. You know, it took a lot of borrowing and shuffling money and saving and making great financial decisions to pull this money together to buy the property. But I mean, that's the thing. I'm not here to tell you that investing is easy. You will have to make sacrifices. You will have to eat top ramen, work 14-hour days, maybe work 2 jobs to stack this kind of money. But I'm telling you, once you get your first property, it starts to roll, because the first property now helps you save for the second, the third, and it does snowball. But I tell people this is because I don't want to make it sound like, oh, anybody can just go out there and buy properties, right? You will have to just work a little bit and stack before you can buy that first property. Now, there are programs that have 3.5%, 5% down. You know, that's assuming you have a good work history. But I was different because I was a real estate agent getting 1099s. And if you know anything about lending, 1099 employees are a little bit more difficult to get loan products. But if you have a stable income job, go out and put down 3.5%. Go put down 5% on this property and just buy that property. House hack it. Make it profitable. Make it work. Run the numbers. And I promise you, over time, the rent will always continue to go up. The value of the property will always go up, which leads me to my next point. Although I made $321,000 in net income, the best part is that this whole time this property was going up significantly in value. So let's go over some numbers here again. I bought the property for $380,000. I put an additional $250,000 in to build the ADU. So all in, I'm in this property for $630,000. The Zillow today, right? And we all know that Zillow isn't the most accurate because they're only basing it off the front house. Zillow today is saying this property is worth $840,000. So I have made almost $200,000 in equity by not doing a single thing. But let me tell you this, I'm actually a real estate investor, and I know for a fact my property is worth way more than $840,000 just on the simple fact that it's bringing in this kind of income. And once you factor in that brand new ADU in the back, this thing is worth at least $100,000 to $150,000 more. But I'm on the conservative side, so let's just call it $200,000 plus the $320,000 that I made. I made over $500,000 in 9 years just buying one rental property. Guys, so I'm excited for you guys to jumpstart and buy your very first property, or buy your third or your fourth, and just really buy real estate and wait. This is a long-term wealth game. It's not a get rich quick. This property took 9 years to produce this kind of income, and I expect the next 9 years to be even better. So with that being said, guys, comment down below what you think, and any questions you have about real estate. I'm here to help answer all your questions. And man, I just want to share the good news that real estate is still the way. It is still the American dream. Let's rock and roll. Peace out.